Hey, algebra students, let's take a look at this word problem. It says a triangle has an area of 54 square feet. The length of its base is 6 feet. What is its height? Now, exciting for us, we can see here that in this particular example, we have a relationship between three things. We know this triangle's area. We know the length of its base, and we're looking to find its height. And if you look at the GED formula sheet, in the very first section under area, we have a formula. The area of a triangle formula relates the base and the height of a triangle like this. It says the area is equal to 1/2 times base times height. But don't be the foolish student who makes a really silly mistake right here. So I'm going to write it in red. Don't write this down, it's an error. But a lot of students will just automatically plug in on the right-hand side. They'll say, okay, it's area, I'm going to do 1/2. I'll plug in the numbers that they gave me. Doesn't really matter what order. But either way, if you did it this way, you'd be wrong. Why? This formula relates three things, and we use letters to say it. It relates the area to the base and the height. You need to stop thinking of this particular formula as only just a way to find area. Okay? Just because the A is alone doesn't mean that's all we can find with it. We've learned our algebra skills so that we can solve things. We can move these formulas around, which means we're going to be able to use this formula here to solve for any of the missing variables. And it's not area that's missing. Let's see what is missing here. So the first thing is, we know the area. It told us the area. Please don't go ahead and use this formula like you're trying to find area. You're not. So since I know what the area is, I shouldn't see an A anymore. When I go to do my substitution step, the known value for A, 54, it should replace it. Now, of course, that A is going to be equal to, I'm going to see my equal sign stay steady, 1/2, I'm going to see any numbers stay steady, but then I can plug in for any numbers I know. So let's take a look at this number that I have. This 6, what is it? Let's see, it says the 6 is the base. So 6 then will be my B. So where I once saw B, I'm going to put a 6. Notice I put it in with parentheses. Do you remember why? It's because when things are shoved together, like this 1/2 and this B are, with nothing between them, that means they're multiplying. And then I'll put an H there. Now, why did the H stay an H? Because that's what I don't know. Read this. It says, what is its height? The height here is unknown. And so I get this equation. 54 is equal to 1/2 of 6 times H. Now, what am I going to do with something like that? Well, it's a great wisdom principle to know to simplify before you start solving. Now, you don't have to do this, okay? It just makes your life easier. So what am I talking about? I'm saying that I see these two numbers here on the same side of the equal sign, 1/2 of 6 or 1/2 times 6. I can do that math right away, and it'll make this equation simpler so that when I start solving it, it'll be easier. Now, you can do it in your calculator if you want. You can type in 1/2 times 6, but I don't have to, because I remember way back to our first lesson when we talked about the basic operations. Remember, we said multiplication is like an act of scaling. So another way to think of 1/2 times 6 is taking half of 6. You guys, you got $6. I want half. You're going to give me half of 6. How much would you give me? You would give me 3. Okay, now that simplified this part of the equation. 1/2 of 6 is the same as 3. I'm going to drop down the H. I haven't touched it yet. The equal sign, I haven't touched it yet. And the 54. And now it's easy enough to see what I would need to do to solve this equation. H is not alone. There's a 3 hanging out. I want to get rid of the 3, so I need to do the opposite. What's that 3 doing with H right now? That 3 is multiplying. I'll do the opposite of multiply. I will divide by 3. Now, I can do whatever I want to an equation. This is an equation, as long as I do it to both sides. So I'll jump across the equal sign, and I will do the exact same thing on the other side. I will divide by 3 there as well. Now, multiplying and dividing by 3 are opposites. They're going to cancel. The only thing left on the right-hand side is that h, and then there's my math to do. 54 divided by 3. Guys, I want you to do it in your calculator. I know that you guys are great. You can do long division. You can count by 3s, but we're focused hard enough on the algebra right now. I'm just going to punch that sucker into my calculator. 54 divided by 3 is 18. So what am I saying here? I'm saying that the height of this particular triangle is 18 feet. Done. All right. Nice job. Strong work. Keep going. Make sure you can finish the practice for this beginning level solving with formulas, guys. You're getting better and better at algebra.